Once upon a time, there was a prince who believed he was the cleverest man in any room, especially the rooms with chandeliers. His name was Andrew. People called him the Duke of York. His mother was the Queen, and by many accounts, he was her favorite son. For a while, the world treated him like a man who could do no wrong, because nobody important ever told him otherwise. Andrew liked nice things, nice palaces, nice holidays, and nice, powerful friends who paid for them. One of those friends was a man named Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein was a financier. He was also, the records confirm, a convicted sex offender. This is the part of the story where a sensible person closes the door, locks it, and pretends they were never home. Andrew did not close the door. Andrew walked back in for tea. A wise prince keeps a careful guest list. Andrew kept Epstein. He stayed at Epstein's houses even after Epstein had already been convicted once. That park stroll, it turned out, happened after the conviction, which is a bold time to be seen with someone. He was even photographed strolling with him in a park, looking relaxed, like a man with absolutely nothing to worry about. Then a photograph appeared. In it, a younger Andrew has his arm around a teenager named Virginia Jeffrey. Behind them stands Ghislaine Maxwell. Jeffrey alleged she was trafficked by Epstein and forced into contact with Andrew when she was 17. Andrew has always denied the allegations, and nothing against him was ever proven in a criminal court. Andrew would later question whether the photograph was even genuine. The photograph, unbothered, stayed exactly where it was. But it was out now, and photographs do not blink. This is where the cleverness began. Andrew announced very publicly that he had cut all contact with Epstein. Done. Finished. A clean break from a bad friend. The palace nodded. The story, surely, was over. Except, according to a 2011 email later obtained by The Guardian, Andrew had written to Epstein around that very time. The reported message, "It would seem we are in this together and will have to rise above it." That email was sent, reports say, about 3 months after he claimed the friendship was over. "We are in this together" is a strange thing to email a man you have completely stopped talking to. But Andrew was not worried. Andrew had a plan, a clever plan. The cleverest plan a clever man ever had. He would go on television. In 2019, he sat down with the BBC's Emily Maitlis for an interview now studied like a crime scene. Cameras rolling, lights up, a prince certain that charm would carry him home. It did not carry him home. It carried him somewhere much smaller. He told the interviewer he had no recollection of ever meeting her. He was asked about Jeffrey's account that they had danced together while he sweated heavily. And here, Andrew produced his masterstroke. He explained that he physically could not have been sweating because, due to a medical condition, he did not sweat at the time. A nation paused. A prince had just gone on live television to discuss his perspiration. As an alibi. Then came the second masterstroke. To explain where he really was, Andrew recalled a very specific, very wholesome outing. He had, he said, taken his daughter to a Pizza Express in Woking. He remembered it clearly. And so, a future king's brother stood accused in the court of public opinion, and his shield was a suburban pizza chain. Pizza Express in Woking sold a lot of dough that week. The prince sold considerably less. The interview was meant to clear his name. Instead, it became the most famous own goal in royal history. Critics called it a disaster. It was so spectacularly bad that it was later turned into not one, but 2 television dramas. Very few interviews earn a box set. Within days, Andrew stepped back from public duties, which is the royal way of saying someone has been gently pushed out of the frame. But the story was not finished. In 2021, Jeffrey sued him in a United States court. In 2022, the case was settled out of court. Andrew paid an undisclosed sum and made a substantial donation to her charity. The settlement included no admission of liability and no apology. He still denied everything. Reports suggested he had needed help from his own family to cover the bill. The palace, meanwhile, began quietly removing things from Andrew's life, the way you remove sharp objects from a toddler. First went his military titles, then his royal patronages. The honorary rolls he loved, folded up and taken away, one polished medal at a time. And still, he kept the big one. The word in front of his name. Prince. Surely, he thought, they could never take that. Then 2025 arrived, and it did not arrive gently. That April, Virginia Giuffre died. In October, her memoir was published, telling her story in her own words. The old questions came roaring back, louder than ever, and this time the public had no patience left. Within weeks, the cleverness finally ran out of room. Andrew agreed to give up using the Duke of York title, and then his brother, King Charles, did something almost no British monarch had done in over a century. He formally stripped Andrew of the title Prince. From that point, he was to be known simply as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. No His Royal Highness, no Prince. Just a name, like the rest of us. The last time a British royal lost his prince title like this, it was 1919, and the offense was siding with the enemy in a world war. Andrew joined that very short, very strange list. And there was more. He was told to leave Royal Lodge, the grand mansion near Windsor he had called home. The man who once believed no door could ever be locked to him was at last handed a box and asked to pack. So, let us return to the beginning, to the prince who thought he was the cleverest man in every room. He had a queen for a mother. He had palaces and patronages and a title older than most countries. He had every advantage a person could be handed at birth. And he spent it defending a friendship with a convicted sex offender on national television, using an argument about sweat and a story about pizza. The clever plan was to talk his way out. The result was a man with no royal title, no military honors, no grand house, and one extremely memorable receipt from Woking. He always seemed to think he could outsmart everyone. He had spent a lifetime certain that being clever was the same as being untouchable. Reader, he could not.